Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is the courtroom Casanova himself, Derek Kaufman.
In the flesh here after Memorial Day weekend. How was yours?
Mine was very memorial.
I saw Lilo and Stitch live action, bro.
How was it?
It was actually quite good. I missed it up a little bit. I had never seen the cartoon because it's a little bit after my time.
You cried in Lilo
Yeah,
and Stitch?
it's about found family, none of the princess nonsense. I liked it a lot.
Wow.
I'll be honest with you. That's the phase of life I'm in.
Okay.
Where I get a little bit misty.
My phase of life is Erin and Peach went to see Lilo and Stitch, and I stayed.
And you hung back. I know the drill. That's a little bit of freedom.
Okay, so we'll talk about Britney Spears and give an update to her pretty alarming plane incident. She has addressed it, and we'll give you more details there. Was she kicked off the plane, or she was just escorted off when they got
I think
home?
she was escorted, maybe scolded a little bit, but her explanations often make me more nervous than the actual incident. And this is one of those cases.
Yeah, her perspectives on life.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez had a pretty wild night last night. She kissed everyone.
The AMAs, man.
The
Hot
AMAs,
and steamy.
Hot and steamy. Jennifer Lopez kissed a girl and a boy and a bunch of other people, I think. So we'll talk about that and other stuff coming out of the AMAs. But to begin with, the Diddy Trial.
Where else would you begin?
Where else would you begin? The Diddy Trial, we're back in action. They had a 4-day weekend.
That's right.
Nice.
They had some time. They had Friday off, and now they're back in court this morning. But they had a long weekend. But during trial, lawyers work. Lawyers be lawyering. And especially during trial, it is a round-the-clock process. And so some motions were filed. They're sort of these letter motions. They're quick and dirty. You tell the judge, hey, I didn't like this testimony. You should strike this from the record. We should tell the jury not to disregard it. One of those pieces of testimony they're beefing about is the Kid Cudi testimony.
Right.
Because remember, he testified that, look, my car got firebombed. That's fine. He can observe that his car's on fire. But then they asked him, who do you think did it? Because they got to connect it to Diddy. And he says, my speculation is Diddy told me he didn't do it, but I think he was lying. And they want to throw this out. And the reason they want to throw it out is kind of technical, but he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And they're like, that's pure speculation. And if you say that in front of the jury, they're going to start to believe the truth of his speculation because he had this interaction at his house with the burglary and so forth. So we can't have the jury even listening to that. You got to tell the jury, disregard that. How did that strike you?
It's interesting. I kind of buy that because I think it's pretty. There's a lot to the speculation. Like
you buy Cudi's speculation that Diddy's lying.
I think,
or you buy the defense's argument.
Charlie, think Diddy definitely did it. Right?
Okay. Yes, you can have that opinion.
But also, I understand Diddy's defense that where's the paper trail? I even denied it to you in person.
Mm-hmm.
And you
said he looked like a Marvel superhero villain, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that when you're on the stand, you can't speculate before the jury because you don't want the jury then to join your speculation. You want the jury to be the speculators themselves.
Look, you on the outside, you can speculate to your heart's content, say, connect the dots, say, look, I believe Cudi when he said he broke into his house. I believe Cudi when he said he was lying about the firebombing. In front of a jury, you need to control that because there's prejudice. And what they mean by prejudice is it's going to make you feel negative feelings towards Diddy without a foundation. And so the defense team is saying, get that out of here. He shouldn't have been able to say that. Now, prosecutors may lose this because I do think it is rank speculation. He has no idea whether Diddy firebombed his car.
Right.
He's sort of looking at tea leaves and saying, this guy was jealous about Cassie. Maybe he did it, but he doesn't have any sort of grounded foundation.
Don't we know that he doesn't know for sure? Doesn't the jury know that? So the jury's aware of everything. They know that Kid Cudi's got an axe to,
And more importantly, prosecutors know that he'd be speculating. So why'd they ask the question anyway? It's hard to unring the bell, right? They can have a motion in front of a judge that says this testimony was out of bounds. Tell the jury to disregard it. And the judge will say, okay, I rule that motion is sustained. Jurors, expunge from your brain all of this back and forth. Can they really do that? No. So they're not allowed to consider it. They won't have that piece of the transcript when they go and deliberate, but it's in their heads.
Did the judge rule
And that's
that way?
why prosecutors do those kind of things.
Did the judge rule that way already?
The judge hasn't ruled. He's taken it under submission because they filed a motion, and the prosecutors say, we want to look at the cases he cited and give you a formal response.
Right.
But The longer this just sits in the jurors' minds before the judge tells them to kick it out of their minds, it's just in there now.
True.
Yeah.
And
So that's an interesting part of trial.
right now, as we speak, Capricorn Clark is on the stand. That's Diddy's personal assistant.
The one who said they were outside when
Yes.
Diddy was in Cudi's house.
She
according
says
to
that
Cudi.
she was kidnapped by Diddy. She said she said something interesting this morning about Diddy and 50 Cent being in an elevator together, and Diddy made supposed threats on 50's life.
Yeah, wild allegation. Says she worked for Diddy. Said she mentioned that she had previously worked for Suge, and Diddy said, "Well, I might have to kill you."
Yeah.
And you can say that in passing because everyone knows Suge and Diddy don't like each other. She says she took it seriously. She says this is a scary guy, and there were times that she worked for him, and says that she was accused of stealing his jewelry and then taken into like the 6th floor of a dilapidated house with a long table and a polygraph and
Really?
Yeah, put on a lie detector and told that if the answers don't come up good, if them lines start jumping, you might end up in the East River. So this is now starting to look RICO-ish to me.
That's starting. All of
This is a crime boss with an employee sort of using tactics that are a little bit illegal.
Yes, that's what I think too. Yeah, for the first time, I'm kind of coming around on the RICO stuff when I hear all of the weapons and the this. Well, I don't.
The RICO stuff now seems detached from just this freak-offs. Do you know what I mean? This is the first witness where it's like, no, I just worked for him. Yeah, I set up hotel rooms and all this kind of stuff. But when I told him I worked for Suge, he threatened me. When he accused me of stealing jewelry, maybe do a lie detector and told me he'd throw me in the river. So that's starting to look like he's just running a criminal enterprise.
Yeah.
So,
Now, how much money would it take for you?
Oh boy.
To be Diddy's personal assistant and to have to do all of these things and all these threats?
Got to be more than 55. 55K.
It was
she
65.
Sorry, 65. Come on.
65K a year. This lady.
Now, this is a while ago. Inflation has probably bumped it up. Maybe it's 80 now.
To do all of this stuff,
and you're on 24/7. All his bidding. Go get me drugs. Go set up this hotel room. This is all according to the testimony. He'll obviously refute a lot of these job descriptions. I'm sure they didn't put that up on the on the Monster.com profile where they were seeking the job. But this is wild. And it's not enough money to really put your life in that kind of danger.
And what a name. Can we just spare a thought for Capricorn Clark?
I love it. Of all the signs of the zodiac, Capricorn Clark's my favorite.
Love it. Okay, on to our next story. Britney Spears is addressing the plane incident. So you'll remember that she was headed back from Cancun, and she decided she would light a cig in the cabin.
Yeah. Which we don't do on commercial flights. Big no-no.
Big no-no.
Yeah, you can get arrested. It's against FAA rules and so forth. But she was on a private jet.
She was on a private jet, but a public private jet.
Yeah,
right?
One of those, not a public, but anyone can buy it, so it's not just the celebrity's own PJ. It's not like Taylor Swift's one with her face on the side.
It's like an Uber.
It's like an Uber. It's more like an Uber, and they can have their own rules, and maybe some of them might allow smoking. This one didn't.
Yeah. So some of them do allow smoking, you think?
I think some of the PJs can say, look, our own rules, we're outside of FAA regulations. It's a little murky to me. It's a little murky to me. I think Taylor Swift might be able to on a solo private jet, but these I don't think can do that.
I don't picture Taylor Swift smoking.
Yeah, I don't either. He didn't light up
Maybe
anything.
hitting a bong or something.
Just a little pull.
So Britney now claims that her friend was the one that put the cigarette in her mouth, lit it up for her. And when her friend did it, in Britney's head, she was like, wow, this must be one of those planes that you can smoke on. She goes, why does she even do her captions in a British accent? She goes, I do so apologize to anyone I offended.
Yes, and she says, confession, it was my first time drinking vodka. There was also reports, and people are concerned with her mental health issues and previous sort of problems. She was drinking and smoking on a flight. People are concerned, so she's trying to address all of it. But in her way, with these long explanations, lots of emojis, lapsing into British accents, laughing at certain comments that, just aren't funny. They're just not funny. I don't know what to say. Yes. She might be entertaining in some ways, but I look at this and I'm like, oh boy, now I'm more concerned. At first I was like, leave her alone. She's living her life. No big deal. But then this, and I'm like, look, maybe the conservatorship was a good idea.
Let's enter this into this exhibit, okay? She puts 4 laughing emojis after this phrase. She thought, right, when I was greeted by officials, I thought it was as support. I was like, wow, I feel special. I've never been to an international airport. Laughing emoji.
I don't understand. Is she saying, of course I'm well-traveled because I'm Britney Spears? What is the laughter? And why 4 of them? And even before that, she's got like a whole bunch of them. I swear I felt so smart drinking vodka. What? What is she communicating? So I see this kind of stuff and I get kind of concerned that she's in some sort of manic episode, something to do with her mental health. I don't know. Look, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't want to diagnose her. But when I see the aftermath of these incidents that are reported, I get more nervous, not less. It's like do less. You ever hear Devin say do less? Say less.
Say less.
Say less,
Britney.
Britt.
Say less. Okay, final story.
I hope she's okay, though.
I hope so, too. Final story. Jennifer Lopez was at the AMAs last night, and she wants everyone to be talking about it this morning. She kissed a guy. She kissed a girl.
Yeah, she's just, come on. I mean, this when J.Lo tries to be Madonna, we had a Madonna. And this is someone like copying Madonna's bit.
Yeah.
And I think it rings so hollow. You are a person who falls in love so quickly and gets married and they fall out of love with you because you're kind of a pain in the ass. This isn't you. You're not the cool girl kissing everyone on stage. That's a Madonna thing.
I feel like Jennifer Lopez is so beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
But I feel like she tries to exploit her sexual nature too much. And I'm out. You know how she made that movie about all her sexual exploits?
Yes.
And it was just like, we don't care. It makes her less sexy the more she leans into her sex.
I just like authenticity. I think when I look at someone like Madonna, who maybe isn't like aging the most gracefully, I think it is who she is. She's so overtly sexual. And we are now saying, it's a little weird, you're in your 60s, but she is Madonna. She's been Madonna her whole life. J.Lo's kind of chameleonic. You know, are you the rom-com J.Lo who's in The Wedding Planner, who falls in love quickly? Are you the ultra sex pot in her 50s? You know, to me, I just want to know who the hell are you? And then I'll go along for the ride. You're very beautiful and I'll enjoy it. But she's like overcompensating with the Ben Affleck stuff, trying to like kiss everyone on stage. I found it was like, it reads pathetic. Is that okay to say?
I think so. I feel like, is it sad to say? I don't think J.Lo knows who J.Lo is.
Yes. And that's the saddest of all. Like, I want to bring her to a couch and say, it's okay. It's not your fault.
Right.
Talk to me. Tell me who is Jenny from the block?
Right.
What block are you from? Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's,
What about Heidi?
What about Heidi?
Tell me about Heidi Klum.
Oh, Heidi
Klum trying to pull down Benson Boone's pants. Now this, in contrast to J.Lo, this is who Heidi is.
Yes.
And we want her to be this supermodel who is absolutely gorgeous, but she's a weenie. She's a weenie.
She's a
little prankster weenie who dresses up on Halloween, tries to pull down people's pants.
Yeah.
She's like European, so she's topless a lot. And that's like sort of, we're like, oh, aghast as Americans. But she's thoroughly who she is.
Oh,
Heidi Klum is just...
I agree. We have gone to say J.Lo inauthentic, Heidi authentic.
Who she is. Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm so attracted to her in different ways. Yeah, she tried to pull down Benson Boone's pants. Apparently, didn't work so good.
The most attractive thing is when someone is comfortable in their skin.
Yes.
To me, it is just hot.
Right.
When she puts on that worm costume and you're like, what a weirdo. But she's like a weirdo.
In a way, that's why you're hot. You know what I mean? Because you're not shying.
You just had an epiphany. You're just like, God, you're something.
God, you're attractive. It's just because you don't try to be anyone you're not. You arm yourself with your weaknesses.
It's the easiest way to be in life. You just got to be who you are. You're entering middle age. Just own who you are.
I agree.
I like stupid shirts with,
puns.
Michael McDonald and puns on them.
Right.
And I'm not going to change that at this stage, much to Mary's chagrin. She would like a change.
I think Heidi might be into me.
Yeah. Oh, I think you could be her type.
Have
you
seen
often think most women that we pitch would be into you if given the chance. That's your authenticity. That's your truth.
Self.
Your truth is a delusion.
Right.
But I kind of like it.
But it's my truth.
It's yours,
But
man.
have you seen Heidi's boyfriend?
I have. And if I'm being perfectly honest, there's a small resemblance.
Striking resemblance.
Yeah. He's a little more filled out. Something about you is just like scrawny.
I know.
And if I could get you to the gym just for a month, man,
you
could have Heidi Klum.
If I could get myself to the gym, I always think to myself, like, if I went to the gym like a year straight, 3 days a week,
oh man,
you wouldn't know who you're looking at. You know what I mean?
You would be peeling them off you. Instead, you're just a married dude with 2 kids.
Right.
You chose this.
I chose this life. All right, man. Well, that just about wraps us up. What are you looking forward to?
That was kind of depressing for you, huh?
I mean, that's fine. That's life. I enjoy it. What are you looking forward to? The Diddy trial the next few days, what are you looking for?
I think I'm looking forward to convincing Harvey that this is now a pretty clear RICO case as well. I think we got him on the internet, the interstate transport of prostitutes. He thinks that's dead in the water. I think we kind of convinced him on Cassie, some of the sex trafficking by force, and I think this is the week he gives up the ghost on RICO.
And you think guilty on all charges?
It's looking that way. Look, the defense has not put on their case yet. This is still prosecution witnesses, but they are painting a picture and they're doing all the brushstrokes. So we'll see how he deals with it.
Very good. All right, mate.
All right.
Thank you for joining me, Casanova, courtroom Casanova.
Always fun.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow.
See ya.
Goodbye.